comms talk about, these are a big part of any production, and they're obviously more complicated when we're in different places. So, how are you handling comms? What's working? What isn't? And Jeff, let's start with you.
Sure. Comms, we kind of approach on a per project basis. We have been using VCOM, which is by Intercom Systems, for years, over 10 years, actually. They're kind of a more advanced system. It's more like a traditional comms matrix. And so it ties in with an RTS frame or a higher end Clearcom Eclipse frame or the newer multi-matrix type of multi-input output type of frames. Unity, we've definitely used also, have been using them for years too, but for simpler shows, whenever we just need 1 or 2 PLs, 3 PLs, 6 PLs, party lines to work with, we found that Unity was somewhat easier for some people to get into, but VCOM is just more flexible for us. And especially whenever, as it always comes up, and I'm sure everybody here that does live events knows, at some point, somebody's going to ask you, well, can I get program audio in my ear? And unless you have your production with Unity server on site for us, we're moving all over the country, all over the world, you have to have that server there, or you have to do a lot of just other things to make that program audio come back into your system. Where with VCOM, it's just a little piece of software you load on a local system, pump Dante into it, or now even NDI audio, and it's just there. We've used Agent IC for those that have that investment in Clearcom already, and it's worked very well also. Some events, whenever we came into them, the virtual meeting events, they were using things like Discord and Mumble. So the gaming audio side, they didn't quite understand. They're like, oh, hey, this is free, we'll just use that. But then they see the limitations once you have a bunch of people talking on top of each other, or you don't have that capability of injecting program audio or having multiple PLs that are easily accessible and monitorable. That is definitely the things we look for, is that flexibility. And I keep coming back to VCOM for our solutions.
So we do use Unity a lot for a lot of our shows. Having the multiple channels and being able to get all the users in is pretty quickly and easily has been great. So we use Unity. We'll also use WhatsApp if we want to get like a text chat going between the producers, and then maybe one with the client also. Maybe have 2 different WhatsApp groups. We'll also do a back-end Zoom meeting where, it's not for broadcast, not for the audience, but we'll have a back-end Zoom meeting for, again, the producers, the client, to be able to see in real time what's happening, and we can all chat, on a back end through our control room, so that we're all on the same page. Because as you said, communication is very important. So between us, it's Zoom, Unity, and WhatsApp.
Yeah, we have a comms matrix in New York, and that's been, clutch. And we use Agent IC, which, ties into that really nicely. We'll use Unity because it'll run in tandem with Rivet on a laptop, which has been nice for talent talkback, low latency. And then now that we're moving to hybrid events where you've got, a rack on site, we'll bring in like an LQ system that we can tie our FreeSpeak into. So it's like we're all in one control room, even though we're decentralized in 2 different spaces or 3 different spaces.
Yeah, we sometimes you can't always trust the internet, so we like to use Dixie brand paper cups with extremely long pieces of string, and we find that no matter what happens, that'll always be a solid backup.
You kid about that. I'm literally here. We did something like that here. The 2 people that needed the comms were literally sitting next to each other, and I'm like, can't they just talk to each other? They're right there. They're literally within 5 feet of each other. It's like, oh, no, we have to have their own PL channel. I'm like, okay, we'll make it happen. And we had to do that for 3 different places, 3 different production courts. But yeah, I was like, one of my guys was like, I've got 2 cups and a string. We're about to set it up.